Okay. All right. Good God, we here. Good God, we made it to see yet another day. You are now tuned in to the Unks in the building. UNCS Unks in the building.
Every time.
Resident Unk Byron is here along with a fantastic, spectacular, beautiful wife, Stacy. Auntie Stacy's in the house.
Hello.
Of course, we will be going through Reddit stories. Now, I know, some of you watch Reddit stories and they go on, and we don't operate that same way. Where you get 3, 4, 5 stories, 8 stories, 10 stories. We might give you a good 2 or 3. Sometimes it's 1. But what happens is we just get to talking.
Yeah.
And the get to talking part ends up being a Reddit story in itself. And you're welcome to chime in on those as well, because that's what we want. It's activity and engagement. However, I just wanted to remind you all, if you ever find a moment where it's like, what are these guys talking about? What are these people talking about? What is this guy and his wife talking about? What is Byron talking about? Sometimes it's going to be, well, it's exactly what's on our mind. That being said, let's find out what's happening today.
Hello. Okay, so this one is from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole?
Another one.
Right. Am I the a-hole for kicking my sister and her newborn out because she keeps calling my dog dirty?
Cold-blooded. Kicking because of over a dog? Mm-hmm. And it's a newborn. Is it cold outside?
She keeps calling my dog dirty.
But is it cold outside?
I don't know. She kicked the person kicked their sister and her newborn out because she keeps calling my dog dirty.
The newborn is rough.
Okay.
You can't kick a newborn out in the streets.
All right, so listen.
Well, let me ask this question though, because maybe you're gonna tell me, but when you say kick out, I gotta know what that means. Does that mean like, you know what? Are you done? Like, were you living with me and get kicked out? Like, you ain't got nowhere to go, or I'm just saying like, yo, y'all gotta leave my house and you go home.
Let's hear the story.
Let's hear what happens.
So, my sister, 32 female, just had a baby and needed a place to stay for a few months.
Sounds bad.
I agreed because, family. The only issue?
Family.
I have a golden retriever, Max, who is my baby.
That's family too in some people's minds.
Yes. He's well groomed, trained, and literally the sweetest dog ever. From the second she moved in, she started making snide comments about how dirty he is, saying things like, dogs don't belong inside, especially near a newborn. He's covered in germs. I don't want my baby getting sick.
The newborn situation I understand, but dogs not being inside, somebody gonna argue.
Can you lock him in a room when we're in the living room? I tried to compromise by keeping him out of the nursery, but that wasn't enough. She wanted me to keep him out of the house entirely. She even went as far as spraying disinfectant on my couch where he sleeps. The final straw, I caught her kicking Max away with her foot when he came near the baby's playmat. I lost it. I told her if she had such a problem with my dirty dog, she can find another place to stay. She freaked out, called me heartless for prioritizing a dog over her and the baby, and left crying. Now my parents are furious, saying I should have been more accommodating. So am I the a-hole for kicking them out?
Animal lovers out there
weigh in, guys.
Those animal lovers out there are immediately going to tell him no. Her. Who was that? Was it
It's a man.
It's a man? Yeah. Yeah, they gonna say no. He's not the a-hole for doing that.
I'm pretty sure it's a man. Hang on.
Because, the animals are people too. And, let me rephrase that because I don't want anybody to look at that. Animals have personalities and they become a part of your family.
Yes.
They do. That's very real. To disrupt this animal's life to be like, you need to live outside. Like, you can't take an inside dog and make them an outside dog.
Absolutely
You
not.
just cannot. They will suffer. And Max may not have been built that way. You know, there's some people, it's like, hey, dog's on a stick out in the yard tied to a tree, and that's where they live at. They got a dog house. They cool. Winter, spring, summer, fall, then okay. Inside house dog sleeping on the couch, which I'm like, I don't mind dogs in the house. I don't want the dog on the couch and on the bed though. That's a lot for me.
Right.
Just, you know, but anyway, a lot of people do. I got nothing against what those people want to do with themselves. Like, hey, just let me know so I'm not, you know, because I just don't. I guess I need one of those. If I get a dog, it'd have to be one of those non-shedding ones. Because I had a dog that was young that, you know, you brushed it and all the hair was everywhere. Like that.
Right.
Anyway, I'm derailing the conversation. We're not talking about me. The situation right here, like I said, animal lovers is immediately going to be like, yeah, no, you're not day-ho.
What do you say, Byron?
I'm a little bit torn. The reason I'm saying that is because of the simple fact I also have a whole lot of empathy for the newborn. You're dealing with a mother, and mothers, you know this from what I've observed from the outside. A lot of mothers are hypersensitive when it comes to their child.
First baby for sure.
So I don't know if that was her first, second, third,
It's
what
her
it was,
first.
but for sure it's kind of like.
It seems like.
And let's just be honest, animals carry germs. They do. Some of them, you know, do some wild stuff with their mouths and be outside running around, digging up whatever. Not to say a lot of humans ain't just as bad or worse. Because there's some people who say, I don't need to take a bath unless I see the dirt.
Hands.
I don't really wash my hands like that because I didn't touch anything. Those people are a problem, by the way. But
bubonic plague.
wash your hands.
For those reasons.
Wash your hands. I seen somebody, I went to this little thing. I seen a guy come out. I'm like, come on, guy. I'm at the sink. Give me some seconds. I'm counting ABC, whatever. Doing my thing, washing up my hands.
Don't forget your thumbs.
Washing up my hands and making sure I'm good. Guy comes in, check the space. All right, opens the door. I'm like, I see who I'm not dapping up because this is you just touched your stuff. I'm like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, you can't use the bathroom with no hands. He went over there like, I didn't touch anything. The bathroom itself is nasty.
Correct.
Like, but anyway, again, this young lady, I understand her with her first child being like, I don't want my kid getting sick. I don't want my kid having potential germs around them. Now, Max could have been the most clean dog on the planet. Keep him out the nursery, absolutely. 100%, I agree with that. Keep him out the nursery. Kicking him off the couch, locking him in a room. That's the part where I'm like, I'm torn. That it comes down to personal preference. And at the end of the day, you knew what it was. This is an accommodation you're going to have to make because you moved in with me because you have nowhere else to go.
That's where I was going to go with it because I'm like, ma'am.
You got nowhere else to go.
You asked me.
Yeah.
And you knew about Max.
Yep.
Max is this person's baby.
Yep.
Therefore, you know how important Max is.
That is
Max
correct.
it's me and Max.
Yep.
All the time, every day.
Yep.
Got pictures of Max around.
Mm-hmm.
Max, I got toys for Max. I've got a groomer for Max. Like, I take Max to the vet. It's the person, that's their child to them.
Yeah.
Okay? And you knew that moving in. It's not a roommate.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a person who's been around, who knows you.
Yep.
You're asking me. It's not, I didn't come to your house.
Nope.
So you know that this dog is going to be around. And you know that Max lives where he lives. So from the minute you walk in making snide comments, how dare? How dare you?
Nah. No.
Absolutely not.
No.
You're the one. It would have been different if he had asked her to move in and she had a newborn and she'd be like,
he had a dog with him.
I know you
like,
come with a dog, but I'm having some issues with the dog, so the dog's only allowed in such and such. That's different. You coming into my abode, and I understand the fears. Some people have irrational fears about animals.
The newborns and animals, yeah.
Just animals in general. I used to be one of those people because I was attacked as a child from dogs, but I still understand people's love for dogs and I respect it and understand how this dog or animal becomes a part of the family unit,
right,
and is loved just as deeply. So for you to now say that the dog can do the things that it normally did in their own house is wild. I understand you saying, okay, we don't want the dog to go into the nursery. That's completely fair. Fine. I understand that.
And the guy made a compromise. He set a boundary. He's like, look, okay, we'll do this. We go ahead and box this room off for you. No nursery, Max. Stay up out of there. Like,
other than that,
he was compromising.
You can't ask for anything more, ma'am. With her. You cannot, and it's very bold.
Yeah.
You know, to come and expect someone to change their entire... The thing is, bringing a baby into a house is already a huge thing.
It is.
For him to
Middle
do
of
that,
the night,
the lack of sleep, you know, it's just a lot.
It is.
Emotionally, where the woman is at.
She could be all over the place.
You have to help her out a lot.
She got postpartum. She's still trying to pump, whatever. You got to watch the kid sometime, potentially. Like, nah.
So that's a lot to offer someone. Yep. I need a place to stay for a few months. Okay,
a few months too. It wasn't like hey, this was
2-3 weeks.
This wasn't like they're working on my apartment. They get my apartment ready and they telling me when my move-in date was. It's not that type of situation. This is I'm trying to get back on my feet. Sounding like, and I'm like that few months might turn into a year fast.
Could be long. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Not the a-hole. How about next story?
All right.
Verdict is down. Not the a-hole.
Am I the a-hole for taking my daughter to Disneyland?
Hard stop?
That was the question. But we haven't said the story yet.
Oh my goodness. You gotta phrase that better than that, buddy. You want some? Go ahead though.
Okay, so I just want to say that this story has edits. So I'm gonna read the story, but then you can talk about it and then we can talk about the edits after. Sure. Edit to answer questions that people have had.
Gotcha.
I already think I'm not, but my family is convincing me I am. I, 28 female.
28?
28.
Okay.
Went on a vacation with my daughter, who's 5.
Okay.
And my husband, 29. As a last vacation before we're a family of 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm 7 months pregnant, and we want to spend time with our daughter before her brother was born.
Mm-hmm.
When I was around 13, my mom and my dad and my little brother went on a Disneyland vacation. Mm-hmm. It was fun, and until my dad left his phone, it was fun until my dad left his phone in the hotel and they wouldn't give it back to us.
Oh, wow.
He had to get a new one, and my mom and dad were so upset that we never went back. I thought it was irrational since it was my mom's favorite place. We went at least once a year prior to that growing up. I'm fixing some of her words because it seems like she has some spelling issues. Yeah. Mm. After that whole ordeal, my mom hated it. So when me and my husband wanted to go on a vacation before the baby arrives, we decided to go to Disneyland for around 3 days. My daughter loves the princesses and the idea of magic, so when we told her, she was overjoyed. I told my mom when we were at lunch together and that we were going on a trip, and I told her it was Disneyland, and she was enraged. I was extremely confused because I thought she forgot about it, honestly. She called me a backstabber and just really rude words. She stormed out of the restaurant, and I paid and left a few minutes later. A few hours later, my dad called me and screamed at me that this family doesn't go to Disney. If you weren't such a spoiled little B-word, you would understand that. I was shocked. It was my money I was spending, and I thought everyone was over it. My mom texted me a long paragraph about how she would go no contact and wouldn't be my mother anymore if I still went. The trip was fully paid for, so I responded, okay, I guess you only have a son now, and blocked her.
Oh, my goodness.
I've gotten at least 60 calls from my family, and a few texts telling me I'm wrong. We still went, and we got back yesterday. We had a blast, and my daughter rode her first big girl roller coaster.
Come on.
She loved every minute of it. So in my opinion, it was all worth it. So am I the a-hole?
Okay, so there has to be something else missing there.
Right.
Because, first of all, if the hotel, I got to know if this is the Disney hotel. Because if the hotel that you left your phone in caused you to lose your mind to boycott Disney for the rest of your days and disown your daughter for thinking about Disney, that seems like a bit much. It seems like something else has had to have happened in order to. It just sounds too something huge happened there that is missing.
Right.
And I don't know what it is, but if you pay for a trip and it's not like, I can't even fathom what type of situation would make me so livid about a theme park.
To say that you're not my daughter
that you're
anymore.
not my kid anymore. I'm disowning you. Don't talk to me. And then for her to respond by blocking her mom is wild to me, but still, like, why are y'all...
Because she's getting too much stuff back and forth, so I guess that's why she's like,
yeah,
I'm going tomorrow, and I don't want to deal with this anymore. I want to have a good time.
Yeah. And I get it. I'm confused about...
I don't think sometimes you do get it, you don't get it, because your family is not like this.
What do you mean?
Your mom would not pick up the phone and call you 25 times. And cuss you out. So you don't really get having to do that. No,
and I get it. I'm saying I understand, like, somebody...
Because you say, like, I get it, but it's like, no, you don't.
That's not where I was going, though. I was saying I get it. Like, sometimes you have situations that happen that piss you off, and it's like, I'm not going there no more.
Right.
You know, a restaurant messes up your food one too many times. Yeah,
but you wouldn't be mad that other people are going.
You want to go have fun. Six Flags, like, so Six Flags started having gang activity.
Right.
Right? And if it would have been a situation like, okay, we were out there, one of your friends got, and you knew about this, and now you like, they kind of swept it under the rug because Six Flags didn't want to get involved with the... Like, if it was something like that happened where it's kind of like, you guys, you know, could have helped us out in this particular situation, you did nothing, then I'm saying, like, okay, well, now I'm kind of like, I don't want to deal with this thing. You left your cell phone and they wouldn't give it back, so you're mad. And then that's the hotel. Like, was it the Disneyland hotel?
Yes, that's apparently what it was.
Okay, so it had to be the Disneyland hotel, so we're not supporting Disneyland because they took your phone and they wouldn't give it back. Did you lose everything, or did you have it backed up to the cloud where you can easily restore it? How long ago was this? You're 13, so let's say she's how old now?
28.
28, so 15 years ago from now, which would have been 20.
This was in 2023, this post was.
So this was in 2008 when it happened.
It's not a lot on the phones at that point.
And you can back them up.
Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead.
Give me so edit piece. Number 1. Whoa. Posted this around 2 hours ago, and I've gotten a lot of comments. First off, thank you. I was kind of scared that I was going to get attacked. I think once I get home, I'm going to unblock my mom and ask if we can meet up. We haven't spoken since this all happened. Hoping we can meet up for lunch and we can talk. Also, I've been seeing a lot of comments where people think something way bigger happened.
Right.
I can't remember anything else happening, though. I'm going to ask, and if and when we talk, I'll keep you posted. By the way, I'm in Cali and I don't get off work until 5, blah, 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 etc. So once I get home, I'll talk to my mom. I have seen a lot of people wanting an update, so I'll try and get one to you soon.
Yeah.
Edit number 2. I truly didn't expect this to go viral. I'm getting ready for work and just wow. Last night I unblocked my mom, messaged her and basically said, I want to talk. I know that our fight was really messy, but I want to meet up for lunch and talk. She responded. She said, yes, and we're meeting up today. My dad is also coming because I want an apology from him for what he called me. I truly can't even process the phone call that happened. I want to get answers as fast as possible because I've seen so many comments Where did I go? Saying that this wasn't over a phone. I have a really bad memory, and that was 15 years ago. But I remember most of it because that whole situation was very messy. I will definitely be updating you guys after the lunch. I've also seen people say my parents might not like Disney because they were more liberal, and I don't think that's the reason. 15 years ago, they were very different as well.
2008, they didn't have all the controversy around them.
Right. I'll ask that when we meet up, but I don't see it as a real reason.
Right.
I've also seen people saying it's very unreasonable to go no contact, very limited contact because of this, which I agree with. I think she was just saying that to scare me, which is still very gross.
Right.
But we still went, and she messaged me back, so I guess we will just see. My husband also might come with me because I don't know how my parents will react when I ask them my questions. Mm-hmm. They will see. They will know. They know we still went, so I'm not scared, but I can't be sure. I'll update you as soon as the lunch happens. Mm-hmm. Okay, final update. Well, here it is, fellas, our final update. Around 1 p.m. yesterday, we went to lunch. My husband didn't come because he had an important meeting at his work. I wasn't that scared anyway because we were going to a pretty popular restaurant, and it wasn't like I wouldn't be alone with them.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy to be talking like this about your parents, but go ahead.
Right, it wasn't like I would be alone. Yeah, we got there and sat down. I started talking with my mom and dad and started asking questions. It was mostly just, why would you get so mad? And it's my money, and I wanted to take my daughter and have a fun vacation with her parents before she has a brother. And I was met with them gaslighting me and thinking, because they don't love Disney, I can't go. I was on the verge of tears and leaving, so I asked my final question that I really wanted an answer on. This can't be over an effing phone. There has to be something going on to make you blow up like this. Then they told me what really happened. So my dad did actually leave his phone. Then housekeeping went to clean the room for the next family to arrive. The woman who was cleaning took the phone and took it to Lost and Found. Okay. She saw my mom's contact on my dad's smartphone and called her. And when we went to pick it up, I went to pick it back up, but the woman also saw another contact that said baby. My dad was cheating for a good year. And a year to a year and a half. And she told my mom, and my mom blamed that woman for ruining her marriage by telling her. That's why they hated Disney. Because it ruined their marriage. I walked out after that. I didn't pay either. I don't think I'm going to talk to them after this. Only if my daughter and son want to. They betrayed my trust and never apologized either for what they called me a few days ago. Yeah. I don't know why we never got the phone back. Probably we never will now. Probably will never will know. But here's the official ending of this crazy ass story.
Bruh.
They blame Disney.
You blame Disney
for what the dad did.
Ruining your marriage. Your marriage was already ruined.
He ruined the marriage.
Yeah, it was already ruined. Disney had nothing to do with that.
You're blaming the place, the location at which you found out that this man has been cheating on you as the and you call her, I will disown you if you go to Disney. Disney is not the problem, ma'am.
Yeah, Disney's not the problem.
It seems like they never talked about it after that.
They squashed it and act like it didn't happen.
They blamed Disney and hated Disney. Disney ruined everything, and they went back to their regular lives.
They focused all of their pain outwardly so they have some place to blame instead of looking in the mirror.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
That's
what it is.
What the mind will do.
It worked, I guess.
And it was two people. Not one person that did it. Because sometimes one person... I can see how one person can get there.
Doing something to function.
But he just wants his marriage to stay intact. Not, so he
mad he ain't got
that
girl
B?
phone number no more.
He called her the B word?
You don't understand what my second family meant to me, and I could never talk to them again because I lost the contact. Oh my gosh. That is utterly ridiculous. And what was that? Am I the a-hole?
Yeah, because she didn't know what the situation was. Obviously, she's not the a-hole.
Got you.
She didn't know what she was dealing with. Am I the a-hole for taking her to Disney? My parents are fully against Disney, and I still took my kid, and we had a great time.
Absolutely not. First of all, have a fantastic time. We in this whole... Let me stop what I was about to say. Have a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
She did. My thing is, though,
Give your kid memories
The
that
parents.
are positive.
the parents just willing to now blame her. That's wild. It's one thing for you guys to be like, we can never go to Disney again. This mom is really broken because she used to love Disney. And
They
in
loved
order
it.
to
They had
save,
to go every year.
yeah, in order to save her marriage and
We're
save
not going no
not
more.
even save the marriage, save her, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's not
Her
peace. It's
idea
not
of the
sanity.
marriage,
Yeah,
to
it's-
save, to
yeah.
keep that idea of the marriage intact, she had to make Disney the enemy. So if it happened at like Chili's would have been the place. It didn't matter.
Wherever I can blame.
But it's sad for
somebody
the
else.
mom because that's her happy place.
It
And he
was.
ruined it for her.
You gotta
and
start
then
going
now
to
the-
Disney World now. Leave Disneyland. You got to go all across
But now
the country.
the daughter,
to Florida.
they're trying to. Do you see how trauma is passed on?
There was a
Do
story.
you see that?
There was a story about a lady who had a
Irrational.
recipe for.
Yes, the pot roast.
You know the story.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I won't tell it then. I'm just playing. Tell it for the people. Lady had a
Most people know this story. I think.
Lady had a recipe for a pot roast that where they was cutting off the sides,
Cutting off the end.
the ends of the pot roast, and finally, fast forward,
Everybody in the family made it that way.
yeah, all made it that way.
All the women.
And fast forward, somebody asked her,
Well, why?
"Why are we doing this?" And she didn't know.
Right.
So she went back and she asked her mother or her grandmother, "Why'd you do that?" And
Why
it
do
was
we
like,
cut it off? Why is that part of the recipe?
why is that part of the recipe to cut the ends of the pot roast off, or the ham, or whatever it was? And she said it's because the pan I had at the time, the meat didn't fit inside the pan, so I cut the ends off so I could fit the meat in the pan and put it in.
Everybody else has been doing that.
Everybody else, so no matter how big or small the pan was, they've all been cutting off the ends. Like, this is the way I was shown from the way grandma did it. But grandma was doing it, I guess she wasn't explaining, hey, I'm cutting the ends off so it can fit in this pan. She was just cutting the ends off. They were watching her do it, put it in the pan. Oh, it's so great. I'm going to do the same thing. They got home, cut the ends off, and it's like, this is exactly how generational trauma passed.
100%.
Because you do what you see. Your parents argue, toxic relationship.
And what's
now
sad,
you arguing, toxic relationship.
what's sad is that you see that it's toxic, that it affected you negatively a lot of the times. But you can't help but replicate it because that's all you see.
That's all you know.
So I'm sure it took a really hard time to be like, oh, this is stupid to cut off the pot roast. But you might still want to cut it off even though you know because you're
habit
like,
now.
Yeah, well, it's just because what if I do it and it doesn't taste good no more and I just wasted
It don't taste the
that
same.
Right.
No, but I feel like that is a problem with trauma. Someone I heard say the problem with fixing your mind is you got to use your own mind to fix it.
And it's that mind that got you in that
And
situation.
yeah, and it's like that's a very powerful statement, and it's true. It took somebody else on the outside asking why. Because if she didn't put this on Reddit,
she would have just been like, that was weird.
that was crazy, right? And then if she did meet up with them to get clarity and they gaslit her, she might have just left and just
Crying,
been like, yo,
instead of
left
asking
crying
that last question
instead
to
of
be
being
like-
like, yo, this can't be over a phone.
Right.
She got that because somebody planted the seed, like, yo, this can't be over. And that's the first thing I was thinking, like, a phone left in the hotel is the hotel part, and they wouldn't give it back. Like, what's
But you know
happening
who's a
here?
hero?
Huh?
You know who's a hero in this story? That maid who was like,
The maid is
bruh.
She's also a snitch. I'm just playing. No, she's definitely
that's
a hero.
a brave maid to be like, ma'am, there's a baby in this phone.
Right.
And
And it's
it
not
ain't
you.
And the thing is, he had
first
an
of all,
affair for a year.
How ridiculous could he be to have somebody saved in the phone as, this is my wife, this is my baby. You saved it in the phone that way?
Yes.
That's an idiot.
Okay.
That's an absolute.
But
like,
can't you see that they're idiots from the Disney hate after that? You don't need to see the baby part.
You know,
the Disney and calling her his daughter, his own child,
God.
a B word for going to Disney when he was the one. But you know what? We're directing our hate at something else, and we're going to keep this consistent.
Right. And you need to hate it too because we hate it. Why am I hating it? But
because Disney can't not be the villain. Because if we realize that Disney's not the villain, then it's the dad.
Right. Right.
This is so... That's why she's like, I just left and I didn't even pay neither. I just got up and left
because have to pay
this is wild.
It's super wild. You know what? That's how racism is. That's exactly how racism is. You know, you realize, like, well, you're not from here, but racism...
I've experienced racism.
I'm just saying, not
American,
not this American
perfectly stewed to perfection. Racism.
This racism in the South is,
it's different.
It's different, and you haven't heard some of the stories. Like,
we never lied.
This is exactly what it is. I saw the movie 42. Rest in peace. What's his name? Chadwick Boseman. Played an excellent job in that as Jackie Robinson. And I remember, I think it was that movie. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It was a moment where he walked up to bat and everybody's booing. Have you seen this movie?
I never have, no.
So everybody's booing. And when everybody's booing, this kid is standing there in the audience. They film this kid and he has this moment where he's looking around like, why are they booing this guy?
Right.
And then he just joins in. He joins in.
Be a part of the crowd.
Because it's like, okay, my dad's doing it. My mom's doing it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because, and it's like, so you realize racism is taught. Young kids don't do that. You might see, some people acting a little weird, but you put two infants in the same room, they're not going to be like, ooh, that person's black. I don't want to touch them. No,
they just see two other.
It's just another kid and they want to play.
I want to play, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then you get older and it's like, that's a black kid. That's a white kid.
My mom
that's
actually had a story about that where she was, my mom is Asian, mostly mixed, but they look Asian, especially with my... She does. She looks like Asian, a Filipino lady.
Black, Filipino.
She's mixed up, but she looks mostly Asian to most people.
And sounds like...
Anyways, when she told me when she was a kid, and my mom's in her 80s now, so it was a while ago, she was like a good 7 to 10 years old. And she's just playing with the neighbors. And then somebody said something about somebody being black. And she's like, what? Literally, that was the first time...
Yeah, the conversation.
She was like, no, that was the first time she realized that the people were black.
Oh.
She was just like, they're the kids that live next door.
Right.
She never saw a race.
Right.
And she was like, whoa, they're black? Like, color didn't come into it. I just want to play with these kids next door.
Right.
And somebody had mentioned the race, and then she said after that, that's when I started noticing race, but before that I never did.
Not a
she remembers process. She remembers the time in life when you stop being a kid with the innocence of that,
right,
of just seeing a person for just person's sake, and then now quantifying people by, oh, that person's black, that person's Asian, that person's white, right, whatever. But kids do not see it.
No, they don't. No, and it's not until you get older and you start being like, man, them people over there act funny. It's like pedigree and class is real. People from certain areas act certain ways sometimes. To call somebody smart or dumb, you don't group people together, because it doesn't matter if you're black, white, whatever. It's like if your education system in that area is bad. Well,
some people are born smart, and it doesn't matter the race. Some people are just geniuses, and some people are
savants and stuff.
Some people are born just not having it,
regular,
or just dumb. Like, sorry, some people are just like,
they don't get
what happened.
They haven't found their area of expertise, and not dumb. They probably just you've been playing areas. What they say. A frog in a tree climbing competition.
Correct.
Like you shouldn't be doing this.
I know my strengths. I am very good at some things, and some things I'm just like,
let me leave that alone.
Not even speaking English right now.
This ain't what we doing right now.
So,
but the thing is, Yeah, that whole thing is taught. It's completely just made up.
Well, it's sad what this family did
exists.
because their family was so broken after this event.
They were going
Right?
to teach her to hate something for no reason, and she would have
Correct.
just grown up just like, God, we don't. If she would have just accepted that, then her kid and the next kid and the
But
next
now
kid
she's
and the next
lost
kid.
she's lost her parents though, effectively.
Well,
because
respect for
they're
them, for sure.
Right. But also like they don't really want to have they came there to that dinner to
Gaslight her.
and make her regret her decision for going to Disney.
Yeah.
And it's like that they still were clinging to that.
Yeah.
And it was like 15 years later and you guys have not dealt with this infidelity.
Crazy.
Wild.
That's very damaging. Folks, get some help. Get some help. You don't need to. You have to process your pain.
I've been in relationships where I'm like, I know something is off. I've done and would never do it again, going through the phone situation where you see things that's evidence enough for you to get out. Mm-hmm. And because you don't want it to be true, it's not like making an excuse, isn't it? It's like you almost need to see the P and the G in order for you to leave. Like what else?
Otherwise,
girlfriend,
it's Disneyland.
Girlfriend, what else do you need to see or hear or know in your body and your mind telling you the math ain't mathin'?
We all know that.
We know there's evidence, there's signs, but you want to ignore it. You choose. Listen, if
It's hard.
you want to know, but you also
don't
want to know because ignorance is bliss.
You know, I never understood that.
Because the mom says once she lets go of this Disney thing, once I let go of
gotta
Disney,
deal with myself.
I have to deal with the reality of this brokenness right now.
You know, I that song a long time ago. I think the fella's name was Mario Winans or something like that. He said that song. I don't want to know if you're cheating. If you.
How did it go?
I said, I don't want to know if your son's. I don't want to know. And they had
Sing it nicely.
You can't, because But
Oh yeah, okay.
it's
Yeah, I know it.
So, and I was like, as a kid, I was like, it's the lamest thing ever. What does he mean he don't want to know? When I got older, it's still soft. It's baby poop.
It's not Mario Winans though.
Well, it's something Winans, right?
Yeah, I don't want to. I know the song. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can find that. Just so we can just know. It's okay. Somebody want to go back and listen to the song.
So tell us in the comments.
But it was a song. And he said he don't want to know if the girl was cheating on him. He didn't want to know.
It was Mario.
It was Mario. Okay, I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
So, not Mario, because Mario's a different guy. That's braid my hair. Not that
That's
guy.
it. Yeah.
Mario Winans.
Right. Yeah, he's a different guy.
He's a different guy. But I was like, it's one thing to speculate or to think somebody's doing something. It's another thing to actually see it.
And to know.
Because you can dismiss some things and kind of be okay.
And disassociate. And
just be like, okay, bro, I'm tripping. That really was Pizza Hut calling her last night at.
That could be a friend that just flirts, and that might be crossing a line, but it's not actually. It ain't cheating.
Actually like, yeah, okay. I know they used to like each other, but it ain't really like that. You can dismiss it. You can tell yourself lies.
Yeah, I remember seeing a text in one of my ex-boyfriend's phones where it was like, yeah, he had clients, and the person, he's like, "Oh,
Mike's had clients too."
You're not that kind of clients. He said,
chill.
He said, what did he say? Sorry, I missed your call. I got out of the shower. Next time you should join me. LOL.
It's out of pocket.
And I was like, I can't bring this up because then he'll know I went through his phone.
Yeah.
But this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing to say to somebody.
Right.
but it's not actually cheating.
Not
so what do
actually
you do
cheating.
with this? That's why I was like, going through the phone makes no sense unless you're ready to blow
Whether you
things
ready
up.
to fight or just leave.
Yeah, unless
One
you're ready
or
to
two.
blow it up and get out of there.
Yeah.
Only like don't do it, because it's who you become. Girls, let me just tell you, just don't do it, okay? Because who you become, the kind of person you have to become to go through the phone, the things that you have to do, you got to get up when he's asleep or grab it when he in the bathroom and try and figure it's your heart is racing.
Hurry up before
You're
they
finding
come back
things out
out
that you get mad about that you can't really
Can't
show
talk
that you're
about.
mad about because you're not supposed to be doing, but it's not big enough of a deal for you to break up. So you're sitting there stewing and just mad. So you're a mad person for no reason. He'd be like, "What's wrong with you? You can't bring it up." And then it's just the kind of lying and things that you have to do to get into somebody's phone. That is not you. And he living his life happy, doing his whatever it is that he's doing, and you're over there a ball of stress, stressing the F out, and you don't even know how to express it.
Bruh.
If that's where you're at, if you feel you need to go through the phone, just leave.
Yeah.
If you don't have the trust because you know he's going to either deny it.
Trust in your relationship.
If you don't have trust, leave and figure out. The thing is, it may not be the man, right? It might be you because you have trust issues.
This
right?
is also true.
So it might be either you need to pray about it and ask God, listen, heal whatever is going on with me that I don't have this trust issue. Figure out, and then after you pray, God may give you guidance or not, but you have to also get some therapy and figure out some kind of healing.
Or you gotta stay. And if you
But you can't treat the person as if they're a cheater without knowing if they're cheating. So you're not sure what you're doing.
Right.
That's why you need to go, because imagine not cheating and being treated as such.
That would be awful.
Right? And then imagine you thinking this man is cheating but not saying anything. The kind of turmoil, the inner turmoil you're going through, nobody here is happy.
Nope.
And you can't focus on growth. You can't focus on the future. You can't focus on anything. So at that point, it's like, I got to leave. I got to heal. I got to figure out what is broken in me. And if it's you, that you can work that out.
Yeah.
And if it's the man, you got to ask God to find you a better picker.
Yeah.
Why do I keep picking this type of guy? Why does this keep happening to me?
Tell it again.
Because I've been cheated on multiple times. And I was like, what? And I thought it was the worst thing in the world. And I'm like, okay, what is it in me
Why do I like this type of person?
Because at the end of the day, you're the common denominator, right?
You are the common denominator
So
in
you're
all
like,
of your
what
successes and failures.
is
I say it all the
in
time.
me that is pulling this type of energy, type of person? What's the broken part in me? And always goes back to your father issues or your mother issues, always a parental thing. But the minute I healed that and mended things with my dad, not everybody can mend, right? We talked about that. You can't always mend, but you can forgive.
An apology that you may never hear.
You can forgive, right? And once you get to that point, so much heals that you didn't know was broken. That's the crazy part. Mm-hmm. So much flourishes in your life when you forgive, number one, and number two, it's so annoying that it always starts with the parents, man. It's such a cliche. Everyone's like, oh, it happened in my childhood. It's just so annoying where everything goes back to childhood, but that's the fact. Bro. That's just what it is. Yeah. And if you work on healing, I'm not saying I'm 100% healed. There's always something, right, that you can grow, develop, do better, heal. But you don't even realize the aspects of your life and the weight that you were carrying. Yeah. When you heal something like that. Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice to girls who want to go through the phone and catch. In Trinidad, we say you take front before front take you. It's because we want to make sure, let me get ahead of this and figure out how I can run in front. If he's cheating, then I want to know before it gets too deep. It's already deep,
can't
baby.
Be the last person.
Because you care. Already, you're in it. So you can't take front. Front is going to front you. Okay? You have to get into it. And if that's what's happening, you don't have to go to the phone to have that find out. You're going to find out. Yeah. Either way. And what happens in the dark comes to light always.
Eventually.
So at the end of the day,
unless you got a Disneyland to blame, then it can just
then you could you focus it. But look at how it happened. It blew up.
Well, yeah, no, it did. Yeah, that being said, thank you. Thank you for joining us once again. You could have literally been doing a million other things, but you chose to watch this show, and I appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Please continue to watch the show. Watch the other shows. Finish the show. Sometimes things happen where you can't finish the show. You start watching, and you got to stop. Come back and see the rest of it.
It really helps us out. It helps the show out.
Come watch the rest of it. Not just for the help in the show.
It does, though.
It does, but also from the standpoint of you might get some information. You might get a perspective you didn't have, especially when we start telling these personal stories. Like, you're gonna hear some stuff that you ain't heard before, and you know what? That's interesting thought process. Maybe I should apply that. Listen to the whole thing if you can. But thank you for what you do listen to. In the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until the next time, know that the unks appreciate you and the aunties.
Bye-bye.